Hi everyone, my name is Griffin Claw, and right now I have Ms. Lisa Kokap, the president of our Playhouse.
Hi you guys, we're so excited to actually have our first ever virtual event. We're doing the GiGi's Playhouse Brew Ha Ha tonight.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be exciting.
Luke, do you know why we're celebrating it this weekend?
No, why? Is it Autism Day?
Tomorrow is
Awesome.
World Down Syndrome Day. Or in our world, March 21st, 321, to represent the 3 copies of the 21st chromosome. That extra awesome chromosome, right?
Yeah.
So it makes you extra awesome?
Yep.
And do you know what's in our boxes? Have you checked them out?
Yes, I did. I think it's our beers.
Yes, and we got special craft beer from Griffin Claw Brewery with hard cider. And hey, Luke, wait, aren't you 21?
Oh wait, I did.
I think you're getting your own box, aren't you?
I am doing.
Woohoo! You're excited. And do you know what Griffin Claw Brewery is doing for us tomorrow?
What?
Proceeds from all their sales are coming right back to GiGi's Playhouse because it's World Down Syndrome Day.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
I'm so excited. Hey, did you want to tell everybody who our entertainment is tonight?
Oh yeah, our entertainment is Rob Snow.
We are so excited. Rob Snow is a renowned comedian out of Cleveland, and he also happens to be the father to a little boy with Down syndrome who rocks an extra chromosome just like you do.
Yep.
So he has taken all of his life's challenges, especially what it's like to be a parent with a child who has special needs, and he's made this really funny, motivational, inspirational entertainment that we get to watch.
Yeah.
Are you about ready?
I'm ready.
Hey, don't forget, what are we going to tell everyone closes at 9 o'clock?
Oh, the Brew Ha Ha.
And the silent auction.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out that silent auction. Closes at 9. What time does it close?
9 p.m.
9
Don't
p.m.
forget, mark your calendars.
All right.
321.
See you soon.
All right. Hello, GiGi's Detroit. My name is Rob Snow, and it is my honor to be here with you guys tonight in this manner. We're certainly doing something a little different. I wish I could be there with all of you, but you're not even with all of you. So this is what we've got, of course. But it's been a year, so we're kind of used to it. I don't know if we're used to it, but we make the most of it. So thank you for having me here with you and to be a part of this amazing Brew Ha Ha, getting GiGi's Detroit off the ground. I've been a part of about 7, 8, maybe 9 GiGi's different events, and was a part of getting GiGi's Cleveland off the ground. I've done this show, and I've done many Brew Ha Ha's, and I can tell you it's so worthwhile and such a great event. And I can tell you GiGi's, when you guys get the GiGi's up and running and going, it is just going to be amazing up there. All ages, all stages of life, learning, playing, sharing, friendships. It's really incredible. And that's just the parents. So the kids all have an amazing time too. But it's really great. So it's truly great to be here tonight. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, well, a lot about, I guess, a show that I do around the country. It's called Minimize the Mountain. And I think hopefully you're going to relate to a good portion of this, or many of you in the audience are going to relate to a good portion of this. I'm going to talk about those mountains, those biggest of mountains, not talking about little problems that you have, traffic backed up, flies in the ointment kind of thing. I'm talking about the biggest problems in life, the biggest challenges in life. Death, not your own, loss of a job, you have a child with special needs, an illness of some kind, all of these things that kind of just put us on our knees to the point that we don't know what we're going to do. Those are the kind of mountains I'm talking about. And so I'm going to share some of mine with you, one in particular, and hope you enjoy it. We're going to hopefully tell you a little bit about how I've looked to minimize those mountains in life, not really overcome those mountains. I don't feel like we do that. I know we see that in a lot of books. We see this idea of overcoming your mountains, leaping them in single bounds somehow. I think when we have these types of mountains, the ones we just can't see over, around, through, below, we have no idea what to do. We don't even know where to start. We're not just going to get over them. And in some cases, that's okay. So the steps that I've taken in life have been to try to minimize that mountain. So we're going to go for it, and hopefully this will be a lot of fun. It's very different, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So of course, I got to figure out how to turn the slides. All right. So hopefully you can see my slides here. On March 26, 2009, our mountain had arrived. This is our mountain. Yeah, that's my son, Henry. Henry was born with Down syndrome. He doesn't look much like a mountain right there, and he certainly is not a mountain to us anymore. But on that day, and I think many of you can relate, on that day, it was the biggest mountain we were ever going to face in our lives. We walked into the delivery room that day to have our baby. It's what you do. It's kind of redundant, right? We weren't browsing. This is nice. We should have a baby here. We walked in to have our baby, and we had a couple concerns, like all parents do, right? All parents have concerns that their baby that they've been dreaming about for the last 9 months is going to come out somewhat less than the perfect vision that you've been dreaming about. And we had a couple other worries too. We had a soft marker on one of the ultrasounds that showed that Henry had a white spot on his heart. He had short femurs, and the doctor said those things may be indicative of Down syndrome. He wasn't sure. He said, don't worry about it at this point, but we're going to have a couple more ultrasounds before the baby's due, and we'll see then. But it was enough to make us kind of have that talk, of course, and to really think about it and worry about it. And 2 ultrasounds later, of course, the white spot was gone. He wasn't worried about the short femurs anymore. He looked at my other sons. He said, you guys aren't really basketball players. So we actually went into the delivery with better odds of not having a child with Down syndrome than those that would be typical for my wife's age, which was 36 at the time. But it was still a little bit in the back of our minds. So Henry comes out, and he's just gorgeous. He's just gorgeous. He has this beautiful little smile on his face, and he's just an absolute joy to see. And I'm not that guy, by the way. I'm not like the guy who's like, all babies are cute and beautiful. And no, they get there, I know, but not right away. Like we need a towel, right? Let's towel them off, and then I'll see. Moms aren't really like that. Moms take the baby and they're like, oh, beautiful, like goo and all, and it's like they're fine. But I saw him, and he was just beautiful right away, and I was crying, and I was very surprised about that because I hadn't cried for my first son, and I realized because I don't really like my first son that much. I'm kidding, obviously. You cry when you have your second kid because you realize what it's like to be a parent. You didn't know that going into the first child. So for me, it was much more emotional. And everybody's tending to my wife, and the other people are tending to Henry. And I get pushed in the back, and I ask what I think is kind of a harmless question. I say, hey, our son had a couple soft markers in the ultrasound that he might have Down syndrome. Would we know that right now? And everybody freezes. And everybody who's tending to my wife goes and starts to tend to the baby, and they're poking and prodding for about 10 minutes. My wife and I are holding hands, and we're nervous. And then after about 10 minutes, the doctor comes by, and he comes back over, and he says, look, I see no signs indicative of Down syndrome. I'm 90% sure you're in the clear. Now, while I don't love that terminology today, and we should do everything to teach doctors that that's not really the right way to say that, at the time it was some relief, but my wife and I would tell each other later that we had somewhat of a gut feeling that that wasn't the case. So about 4 hours later, as we got to know Henry a little bit better, our pediatrician walks in to the hospital room. We'd never met her before. We chose her completely randomly. We'd only been in Medina, for our little town in Ohio. We'd only been there for 9 months, okay, to the day. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Do the math. All right. So we've been there. Never met her before. Chose her randomly. She walks in. She takes a look at Henry, and she kind of pokes and prods at him a little bit, hands him back to us, and then she says the words, "I'm about 80% sure your son has Down syndrome." And as our hearts started to descend into the pits of our stomach with what we thought at the time was the worst news we'd ever hear in our lives, she says this. And that is awesome. And then she turns around her laptop and she starts showing us pictures of her daughter, Sarah. Beautiful little girl, pigtails, soccer playing, dress up, with Down syndrome. And it was at that moment that while the biggest mountain that had ever fallen on either of us in our lives and started to put us on our knees at the exact same time, just barely after it, it started to minimize because of this doctor and because of what she was showing us and now what she was telling us. So, who's ready? Who's ready for the Tony Robbins, the Brene Brown, the Rob Snow 7 steps to minimizing your mountain? Who's ready? Can I see a show? I think some of you just have fun. Raise your hands. Just you're in a room with your family. I just want to see a show. I see a couple of you. Very good. Very good. 7 steps to minimize your mountain. Now, here's the things. I'm going to tell you. These are not hard steps. They are, as a matter of fact, they're easy. They're easy to understand. They're hard to do. And I need you to understand that. You're going to come back to these 7 steps many times over and over. They don't necessarily go in order, but you got to keep doing it. You got to persevere through them. And again, not in order, but you should start with the first one. Why? If you can answer this one right away, if you can get this one out of the way and answer it, you're going to do yourself a lot of favors as you get through the other steps. So step 1 is why. Why do you want to? Why do you want to get off the ground? You're on your knees. The biggest mountain ever is in front of you. Can't see around it, can't go through it. You have no idea what to do. You've never done anything like this in your life. Why do you want to get off your knees? Because a lot of us don't find that why in these biggest of challenges. So why do you want to? So find your why. And that's probably the most important start to this process that you can have. It's not easy for all of us. It's not easy at all. For me, it actually was fairly simple. I was in that hospital room. I wasn't feeling great. I looked around the room. I'm looking at Henry. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what Down syndrome really is. I don't know what his life's going to be like. And to be honest, I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling upset, feeling angry. Looking at my wife, she's not doing great either. She's having some challenges. And all of a sudden, in walks my son, Charlie. He's 4.5 years old, his big brother. And all Charlie does is go straight. He just beelines to Henry right away with the biggest smile on his face. And he just gives him a big hug. Now, he doesn't know he has Down syndrome. He doesn't know anything. But I guarantee it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Even if he knew, it wouldn't matter. And the joy on Charlie's face over his little brother was too much for me. And right away I said, I can't be the father to Charlie, to lead an example for him on how to be with Henry, how to raise Henry. I can't be that father if I'm down here on my knees. I looked at Henry, I said, I can't be Henry's father if I'm acting depressed because he's born, because I don't even know anything about this. I can't be his father the way I need to be. And I looked at my wife and I said, I can't be her husband. I can't support her if I'm down here. So immediately I had my why. And that was enough for me. And I've never looked back. But it's not easy. Sometimes people say, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do this for me. I'm not my best motivation. You might be. That's fine. If it's for you and you can do it, you might be your best motivation. I am not my best motivation. I've dieted way too many times for me and come back. I am not. So you got to find that though. Find your why. Step number 2, just head out. Find the positive, right? Wait for a sunny day. Look up at that sky. Just let the sun just wash all that away. Just give you just nothing but positive, right? It's that easy. No, not quite. I love the picture though. Makes you think it could be. But you got to find the positive. Notice I didn't say stay positive or be positive. Everybody does it, right? When you have these challenges, your friends will come up to you, those close to you will come up. They'll go, hey, be positive. Okay, be positive. Stay positive. Stay positive. That's important. And I'm like, wait a minute. How can I be positive? You're crying. It didn't even happen to you. You want me to? You got a game plan for that? So I don't say be positive or stay positive. I say find the positive. You have to find it. It's easier when you have your why. It's easier when you have your why, but you have to go find the positive. And then here's the other thing. This is another hard part. Let it in. You have to let it in. That's the hard part. Everybody can find the positive, but you got to let it in. There's an old Seinfeld. Some of you are Seinfeld fans. I don't know how old the audience is, but he's getting reservations. And when he goes to get a car reservation, they don't have it. He said, but I held the reservation. She goes, no, we held the reservation. We just don't have the reservation for you. He goes, everybody can hold a reservation. The problem is having the reservation. Find the positive. It's everywhere. You just have to let it in. And when you find your why, you can get to the point where you can do that. Sometimes along the way, this mountain of ours, we're doing our best at minimizing it, and it gets built back up. It gets built back up. You know, whatever. If you have cancer and the cancer's receding, it's going away, and all of a sudden you get a new report, it's back up. Sometimes that happens. Our mountains can get built back up. And in our case, our mountain was getting built back up by things that people would say to us that would just bother us to no end. And sometimes they were well-intended. You know, things like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Which is well-intended. We get why people say that because they don't know really what else to say. And it sounds like a nice thing to say. But I got this beautiful, amazing, living, healthy boy. That's my boy. And you're telling me you're sorry that I had him? It doesn't help. It's not a good thing to say. So I wrote a book. I couldn't take it anymore. So this book has about 50 different things that we've heard, that other people have helped us or shared with us that they've heard of some of those either well-intended but wrong, just plain mean things, other weird things that people have said. And then I got to write my 3 responses to all of those moments. What I should have said, what I wish I would have said in that moment. Thankfully, I didn't say these things, and I don't. If you do buy my book, you can. But I don't recommend you saying these things. It was very cathartic for me, so I got to really just kind of spit it all out on the page of what I wish I would have said. So some of the responses aren't the best. But to go back to the I'm sorry one, I'll give you one quick response that I think everybody could say. Just 2 words. How so? I'm sorry. How so? And then just sit back and watch the most stammering, hard-fought apology you've ever seen in your life. I'm sorry. How so? No, it's good. You said well, when you said I were a kid with that, I was like, whoa, what? I didn't know what to say. And of course you said, but just watch. It's amazing. The one thing you can say, and a lot of people do this, I love this one. I'm so sorry. Don't be. Greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life. And then I will take out every camera, or I take out my camera and open it up and look at every picture and video and have them look and watch and see how sorry they should not be. So another positive moment came for us. We had some friends who had a daughter with Down syndrome, and instead of the word developmentally disabled, they would use the word developmentally distinct. And the way that they described that to us was that in some areas of their daughter's life, she was delayed. In other areas, she was right on par with her peers, with her typical peers. And in other areas, she flourished well beyond it. I thought, God, that's beautiful, right? That's beautiful. Because that describes everybody. All of us are delayed in some areas, good in others, great in others. That's every single human being. I have a show that I do, and I go around and I speak to high school kids and even younger, junior high, and even grade school. This resonates. You know, I get my athletes who are terrible at music or singing, you know, and vice versa. Everybody has these moments. And it was absolutely true with Henry. Henry was a gifted reader. That was his gift from almost from day one. When he got to preschool and kindergarten, he was the reader in the class. In the typical class, he was the reader. And I always think about that someday, you know, some kids who were in that class might get asked, hey, did you ever know anybody with Down syndrome? And they go, well, there was a kid in our grade school, and actually, he was the one who knew how to read. So we're looking to flip the switch on it. Another thing that Henry's good at, and this is a weird one, he's really good at skee ball. Like amazingly good at skee ball. I don't know how he does it. I don't know what his secret is, but he's really good. It's kind of amazing. This is a little bit of an older picture, but does anybody else see a negligent mother in this picture? Yeah, she'd be the one taking it. Developmentally distinct. So think about that in life, and that's ways that we can help, again, find the positive and let it in. Next step. The realizations and the signs. Realizations and signs. Realizations are obvious, and you've got to take these things that come at you in life. So many of us in this audience right now understand the signs. When Henry was born, we just had these signs, right? We just had these signs. These signs were amazing. They were like these random connections, crazy coincidences, these occurrences that just made you go, wow, I can't believe that I'm being connected to this person right now. Realizations are more obvious. You know, they hit you like a ton of bricks. It's the realization. You know it when it happens, you know, and you got to follow those things. It's not just seeing these things or buying into these things. It's acting on these. So I believe in the signs. I did not believe in the signs at first. My wife, she does. She's the devout Catholic. There's a saint for every sign, right? She's the Catholic. I'm a little more skeptical. Right? I'm that skeptical comic and everything like that. So I didn't totally believe in the signs. But there were so many, like our doctor, the fact that she had a child with Down syndrome, probably the only pediatrician in Northeastern Ohio who has a child with Down syndrome was our doctor that we chose randomly. So many others along the way. And I wouldn't believe in them at first. So I'd be in this line of non-believers. And then all of a sudden, I just keep seeing this stuff happen. And I started to realize if I can get in this line, and I believe in the signs, and that's telling me I'm on the right path, that somebody's looking out for us, and that maybe, just maybe, all this is meant to be. And that became a very fun line to be in. There's that old parable or story about the man in the flood. So there's a guy in a flood, and he's in his house, and he prays to God, help get me out of this flood. And pretty soon a truck comes by, the water's up to like the doorstep, and the truck comes by, he goes, come on, get in. This flood's gonna get really bad. This is the only way out, you gotta come. He goes, nope, I prayed to God, he's gonna get me out. A little bit later, the water's up to the windowsill. Guy prays to God again. All of a sudden a boat comes by. Come on, man, you gotta go, let's go, this is it. You gotta get out of here, you're gonna die in this flood. Nope, pray to God, he's gonna get me out. A little bit later, it's up to the roof. He's sitting on top of his roof. Helicopter comes by, lowers the ladder. This is it, last chance. He said, nope, God's got me. The man dies in the flood. He goes up to heaven, he meets God. He says, God, what happened? I prayed. He said, I said, a truck, a boat, and a helicopter. What more did you want? Sometimes we gotta see the signs and we gotta believe in them. And let that help lead your way. Next step, educate yourself thoroughly okay? Because I just found this out. I was on the internet and I just found this out that apparently not everything that we see on the internet is true. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. I read that on the internet. Yeah, yeah. Statistics you see, 67%. This is what they say. 67% of statistics are made up on the spot. Who knew? Educate yourself thoroughly. You got to keep pushing. When we had Henry, we got a pamphlet. First day, we get a pamphlet. That's what you get. You get a pamphlet. Some of you, same boat. Get this pamphlet from the American Journal of Medicine. It's from that year. And here's what it said. The chromosomal disorder carries a range of intellectual impairment and other health problems, including heart and stomach defects, a weak immune system, poor hearing, and a shorter lifespan. Even on the healthier end of the spectrum, people with Down syndrome tend to die younger in their 50s. October, American Journal of Medicine, in 2009. Wow. Welcome to Down syndrome. Now, this is all medical. It's all true, right? There's not anything untrue about all of this. But if I would have stopped at this pamphlet, imagine the way I would have thought about life with Henry. Imagine if I didn't meet groups, if I didn't go out there and study and learn more. That's all true. But how about some of these? What if the pamphlet had some of these? What if it talked about the hugs and the smiles and the laughter and, my God, the dancing? Right? Generalizations, of course. But I've known a lot of individuals with Down syndrome in my life, worked with a lot of them. It's pretty true. Those are good things. They have a 10 times greater chance of getting leukemia, people with Down syndrome. But outside of leukemia, virtually cancer-free. That would have been good to know. Our pediatrician hates this one because she's a scientist and she can't explain it. There's a kindness. Again, a generalization, but there's a kindness. Would have been good to know. And finally, they talked about the life expectancy twice in there. People with Down syndrome tend to die, but they didn't tell me that in the 1980s, the average life expectancy for someone with Down syndrome was in their 20s. Today, it's 61. I ain't worried about the life expectancy. We're doing amazing things. Then you start to dig and you start to see these amazing organizations out there. I found this study, a study done by Dr. Brian Scacco at the Children's Hospital of Boston, had over 3,000 individuals with Down syndrome and their families were part of their study. How many parents are sitting around a dinner table crying every night? Not many. 79% of parents have a more positive outlook on life because of their child with Down syndrome. We're not crying around the dinner table. Gets even better. How many individuals with Down syndrome are happy with their lives? How about that? Find me the demographic where we can find 99% happy with their lives. And then find me this demographic, 96% of us like how they look. 96% of people with Down syndrome like how they look. You won't find that demographic anywhere. It doesn't exist. It's not men, it's not women, it's not Republicans, it's not Democrats, it's not Americans, it's not English. It doesn't exist. It exists with people with Down syndrome. It's for us to admire that, to put them on a pedestal almost and go, wow, how can we live our lives in that same manner? How can we stay that positive when we have challenges? This is a tough step. This is a step I'm gonna yell at y'all a little bit about. Ask for and accept help. It's a hard step. The hardest. We suck at it. We do. We suck at this step. I don't know why, but we do. I think it's because we think it's a burden, right? We think we don't want to burden other people. It might be embarrassing. Our challenges, our problems might be embarrassing. But we don't want to burden other people. We don't want to be embarrassed. It's not their problem. We'll get ourselves out of this. We got this. And that's what we always say. People ask us all the time. Our best friends ask us. Our family asks us, how can we help? What can we do? What do? I got this. I'm good. Thank you. It's so arrogant of us. It's so arrogant of us. And here's why. Every day, so many days of our lives as we're growing up, teachers and parents and coaches all tell us practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. You got to practice to be good at something. Yet the hardest thing in our lives, the hardest thing, the biggest challenge in our lives falls in front of us. We've never done it before. We've never practiced it, how to get through it, how to get around it, how to deal with it. We've never done anything like that. I got this. What do you got? We don't have anything, but we're going to keep pretending. Now, here's where I'm going to make you feel real bad. Because every time you turn down help from people who love and care about you, every time you do that, I want you to remember your why. And to go back to your whys and tell them why you turned down help. Look them in the face. If I had to look my sons and my wife in the face and tell them that I turned down help, something that could get us out of this situation or even improve our situation, what kind of a person would I be? But we do it all the time. We do it all the time. And now think of it from the other side. Think of it from those friends and family members that are offering help to you. Think of the times you've done it. Did you feel burdened? When those people on those rare occasions said yes to you, didn't you feel honored? You weren't like, ugh, they took me up on my offer. Oh, God, so hoping they wouldn't. No, you were like, yeah, all in, let's go. Whatever you need, I'm here. It took me a while. We went to the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit. We went there for 5 days after Henry's birth. So glad that we did. We got to sit there with nurses. Henry's condition was pretty good. He did not have a heart condition, but he was pretty good, pretty healthy. But we got to sit there for 5 days and learn from nurses that helped us every single moment. Now you accept help from nurses because they're nurses and that's their job, and we're okay with that. But constantly, friends were asking us, how can we help, Rob? How can we help? Finally, like on the 4th day, I went into the family area of the hospital, and I'm on my laptop, and I'm getting all these emails, and finally I go, I don't know. I don't know that Ellen's going to want to cook. I don't know that either of us are going to want to cook when we get home. That's just, sometimes cooking can be like the hardest thing in the world. And our friend said, nope, I got this. She was excited, she was excited. She called me up. She goes, Rob, thank you. I got this. And then the Medina Moms Network put together the 75 lasagnas and 75 nights plan. But it was amazing. It was a huge help to us. There were therapies along the way, things that, at the time we really wanted for our child. Those are expensive. Sometimes you can't afford them. So we went to the bank of mom and dad. Didn't want to. Sometimes we just really needed some extra help. They couldn't write checks fast enough for us. They made it work. I didn't want to come back right away. My time was up. My paternity time was up. So I called my boss. I said, I'm not ready. He said, Rob, I got this. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of it. Just keep me updated. All of those were hard asks, but I can tell you since then, the asks have been easier and easier. We ask for and accept help, and you have to get there. You have to be able to do it. You have to accept help. But now we're going to go to something you are good at, helping others. We're good at it. You're doing it right now. You're watching this. You put in money to GiGi's. Keep putting in more money. You're helping others. Feels good. We're all good at this. So many of us are good. We love doing it. It makes us feel good. But what I'm asking for in this situation, help others, which we all can be good at, while you're hurting yourself. This will help you. This is a way to minimize your mountain. Yes, it makes you feel good. That helps you minimize your mountain. But it's also doing other things. Consider an alcoholic. And a lot of times an alcoholic who's gone through AA becomes a sponsor. Now they become a sponsor so they can help others, for sure. But they also become sponsors so that they too can stay on track. It keeps them on track. So imagine every one of us would probably reach out and help somebody who was drowning. But how many of us could help somebody who was drowning when we're also drowning? It's harder. As we were going through this, we were trying to figure out ways that we could be more a part of the Down syndrome community. We got very invested in the Down syndrome community. So we started a charity. Now, we started the charity selfishly, like a lot of charities get started. They start for very selfish reasons. And in this case, that's not a terrible word, because we do it because I wanted to help Henry. I wanted Henry to have the best life. And if we could do something to contribute to that, then great. And if along the way it helped out other people, then great. So we started our charity, Stand Up for Downs. Some of you may have heard of it. I have the background in comedy, so it was just raising money. We put on comedy events, raised money. Now today, we've raised over $500,000. We've given out over $300,000 to amazing organizations, including a bunch of GiGi's around the country. But now we've taken the program and now we teach improvisation to individuals with Down syndrome and other disabilities. Currently today, we're doing an online program called the Improveneer Method, where we're teaching 40 classes a week to over 500 individuals around the country. So this has helped us. It's helped us stay focused. It's helped us understand the Down syndrome community, giving away this money that we've raised. It doesn't put us necessarily in the action of some of these amazing organizations, but it gives us some pretty sweet courtside seats to all the action. We've been to Capitol Hill and lobbied, all of this so that we can stay in tune. We're helping others so that ultimately we're helping ourselves minimize our own mountain. And finally, so I was in that hospital room after the doctor had left and everything, and we were feeling a little better after the doctor left and told us as much as she could about Down syndrome. But I was still feeling pretty bad. Doesn't go away that fast. And I went downstairs. My wife said, look, there's going to be some people coming in. I need you to go get some snacks for the room. So I went downstairs. I got in the car to go to the grocery store. And as I got in the car, I realized that was the first time I was alone with myself. And as I'm in the car, I start to have this conversation with God. And it's not a great conversation. It's kind of an angry conversation. There's a lot of yelling, mostly on my end. And I'm driving to the grocery store and I'm yelling and I'm going, why? Why us, God? Why did you do this to us? What did we do to deserve this? And I'm just yelling this over and over and I'm so angry. But something in my head, there's a picture that's forming in my head and it keeps getting bigger. And it's his face. It's that perfect little face. And it's getting bigger and bigger. And the bigger that it gets as I'm driving to the grocery store, the bigger that it gets, the more I feel like I'm just kind of I'm not selling this anger anymore. My attitude is starting to change. And all I could think about as I pull into that grocery store parking lot, all I could think about is that little face. And now it was overwhelming my mind. And my whole head, my whole thinking started to change because all I could think is there's this little boy who, he's done nothing wrong, by the way. And he's just up in a hospital room waiting for his father. And his dad is in a car yelling at God because he gave him to him. And there's not really a lower point in life that you can have than that. But as that picture overwhelmed and I started to see this face and it all started to change, all that anger started to go away. And I went from why us, God, to why not us, God? We are perfect for this. We're amazing for this. I went from what do we do to deserve this to what do we do to deserve this? We won the lottery. And the heavens opened up and the sun came out and the angels sang and I had acceptance. At some point, we have to accept the mountain. Because if we can accept that mountain, we can really begin to minimize that mountain. And I'm not talking about taking that mountain down to nothing. I'm not talking about taking it down to flat ground. We may never get there with the mountain. But if we can minimize the mountain, we can certainly manage the hill. But you've got to have your why. It all starts with why. So I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to speak here today in this unusual manner. Hopefully I can be there live with you all next year when you do this again. I wish you all such great luck. I can tell you the GiGi's that I've seen and know are the most amazing organizations. Honestly, one of the most amazing organizations in this world to support. So GiGi's Detroit, thank you very much. My name is Rob Snow, and everybody keep thinking about minimizing that mountain.
The silent officer calls that.
Hey everyone, it's Caitlin Wojciechowski, the site coordinator here at GiGi's Playhouse, Detroit. I am so glad that you're here with us this evening. We have a lot of special things in store for you tonight, but first we need to hear from a few program participants. They're going to share what they love most about GiGi's Playhouse. Take it away, participants.
Do you love GiGi's?
Yeah.
Why?
It's fun too.
We love GiGi's Playhouse because their LMNOP program is good for the whole family.
I like GiGi's because I like to work out with my friends.
I love yeah. This is
I love GiGi's Playhouse because it keeps me strong with GiGi's.
Hi, you guys. Hi, I'm Terrell, and I'm here with Miss Taylor.
Hi, everyone.
Miss Taylor, can you tell all of us here at GiGi's about drama troupe?
Sure. So this year, GiGi's Playhouse Detroit has teamed up with Open Spot Theater Detroit to start the drama troupe. So we have started theater classes here at GiGi's Playhouse. So we have 2 classes that we do once a week each, and we do all sorts of fun things. What do you like to do in drama troupe, Luke?
I just like to hang out with my friends in the troupe.
It's a good group.
Yeah, it's really good group.
And we do you remember the 3 parts that we do?
I think one of them is acting, dancing, and singing.
Acting, dancing, and singing. That's exactly right. So we do that in each class, and we have our big show coming up the week after Brew Ha Ha. And how do you feel about the show?
I'm kind of. I think I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are 100%. So are you having fun with it?
Yes.
That's what matters. So we're having a good time.
Have you ever been to Firefly?
No, I don't think I've ever been there. Seriously, you've never been there?
Look in your box. This is doing special at GiGi's Playhouse.
Oh, really? What are they doing? Aren't they doing an event for GiGi's Playhouse on April 15th?
Yeah, they are to my mom. Very big appointment.
Cool. Hey, it's me, Caitlin again, here to introduce the coolest act around, the Improvineers.
Hello, GiGi's Detroit. We are very excited to bring you the Improvineer method. Woo! So I am Maggie Bassesi. I am the lead trainer for the Improvineer method. And if you haven't heard of this method, it is sweeping the country. So what we do is we teach improv to individuals with developmental disabilities, and it greatly increases their social and workplace opportunities and builds confidence, and it is so much fun. So I have with me today our original crew, we call them the OG Improvineers, and they are going to perform for you, and they are very excited. So from Ohio, we have Nick Doyle.
What's up, Detroit, Michigan?
We have Danny Chase.
Hi.
We have Adam Schoen.
Yep, right here.
And Chris Bean.
And go Pistons.
Very good, very good. So we are going to play our first game today, and it is called Alien Interview. So Alien Interview works this way. We have an interviewer who asks the alien a question, an alien who answers that question in alien noises, and a translator who tells us what the alien said.
What's up, you guys? The home of Detroit. Welcome to the improv method alien interview. With me today is a weird looking alien, and his name is Adam. And my translator, Danny Chase. So I got a couple questions for this alien. So, what is your name?
He says that his name is Adam Super.
Adam Super. Huh. Okay, interesting. So my second question is, what planet do you live on?
He said that he is from planet Surcon.
Planet Surcon. So, I have one final question for this alien. Why are you in Northeast Ohio, and are you going to destroy us?
Okay. He says that he is here to destroy us, yes.
Okay, that's all for me. That's all for me, alien interview. Thank you, Detroit. Tune in for the next game.
We are going to play our next game, which is breaking news. So the way that breaking news works is that our improvineers are going to create a whole news story with an anchor and a reporter and people on the scene. All right?
Hello, everyone. This is live here from Detroit, Michigan. We are at the Pistons basketball arena, and we have some breaking news to tell you. So there was someone shooting some basketballs, and with more on that, here's our reporter, Mr. Chris Bean, on the scene.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm here at the Pistons arena, and I was looking around, and it's pretty much empty around here. There's bleachers, there's a court, actually. I'm standing on the court, and there's a lot of basketballs around. There's a locker room, there's a coach's office, there's everything in there. And the coach of the Detroit Pistons was Danny Chase, and one of the players was Adam Schoen, and the player in question was shooting basketballs, and he accidentally saw that there was a rifle loaded, and he didn't actually report that to the police quite yet.
Okay. So, I got a question. Was Adam doing his paperwork, or was he filling some baskets?
He was actually shooting some baskets.
Huh. Okay. And what was the coach, Danny Chase, doing?
She was just in her office doing some paperwork and uploading the roster, and somehow she was trying to do a lot of work around there.
Okay. What happened to the gun? The bodyguard gun?
Well, I have a question for Danny, the coach. Danny, do you know the court?
Yeah, I saw the rifle.
What time did you actually see the gun on the court?
Well, there was someone in the audience that had it.
Interesting. I have a question for did you have a gun when you actually saw it?
Yes, I have a gun.
Okay. Are you here to arrest? Are you here to just shoot baskets?
I was shooting baskets.
Okay, shooting baskets. Okay. Was the whole team there?
Yep, the whole team was there.
Okay. I have another question for you, Adam. When you were on the court with the whole team, did you notice that there was a gun in the middle of the court?
Yes, there is. There was a gun in the middle of the court.
Can you describe what kind of model it was?
It was a very big shotgun, like this big,
Okay. I have another question for Danny here. Danny, when you saw the rifle, did someone shoot the gun, or did someone leave it just lying around?
I think you just leave it lying around.
Okay. This is a bit of an interesting story. Back to you, big dog.
Well, before I end my newscast, this is our very own Northeast Ohio lead trainer, Maggie Bessie. Was she the one that put it there in the middle of the court?
Yes, she did.
Oh, jeez, man.
Excuse me. I thought that they needed a mascot. Okay, I thought, is it a piston, a gun? So I put it there to give them an idea. It was wrong. I shouldn't have done it, and it makes sense that they arrested me.
Thanks, Maggie. I needed that clarification point.
Well, thank God they arrested you. Now get out. That's the end of our newscast.
And this is Chris being on the scene saying so long and good news.
And the improvisers are out.
2 people doing a scene. I'm going to give the first person the first line. They're going to say it. Their partner is going to listen to them, agree with what they've said, and add to it.
So Adam.
Yeah.
You want to go work out?
Oh yes. Let's go. Let's go work out.
All right. Let's do some dumbbells.
Let's have some dumbbells. Oh, do we need like muscle milk or a protein shake?
We must be lost.
I think I read the map upside down.
Oh, well, let's get back to where we first started and find a way out.
Good idea. Did you park the car anywhere?
A car?
Yeah.
I actually walked here by myself.
You walked here? Oh no. Oh, I drove here and now I can't find my car.
Here, let me turn on the flashlight.
I think it's like a box.
It's a box. Might that box have an animal inside?
Kind of.
Is it for me?
Yeah, it's for you.
Oh, it's a puppy. Oh no, I forgot to get the dog food. Crap.
Puppy got sick.
Yeah, all over me.
We have to take this puppy to the emergency room.
If you mean, yeah, but I can't go to the emergency room looking like this.
Yeah. Let's say wear shorts and a t-shirt.
I'll try and find that if I can find my room through all this crazy toys.
You both I know.
I'm sorry, I didn't know the football actually hit you in the nose.
That's alright. I don't need my nose anyway.
Good riddance to you, Chris, being on the scene.
What did I do this time?
You broke my leg.
It's not my fault I tripped over it.
Well, I'm not the one that put the thing in the middle of the floor.
Oh, crap. Is that really me?
Yeah, you.
Dang it. I think I'm gonna get talking to by mom.
Thank you, Detroit. And that is Nick Doyle. Chris
Thank you,
Bean.
Detroit.
Go Pistons.
Danny Chase.
Where is
And
Danny
Adam
Chase?
Schoen.
Yeah.
Everybody, please take a bow.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight for our first ever Brew Ha Ha. It has been such a ride this past year. As you can imagine, when COVID hit, it really closed down our fundraising efforts. And although all of our programs are 100% free for families all of the time, they're not free for us. And we have not been able to fundraise. So this is the time that we need your help more now than ever. So if you are able to, please take out your phone You can text a donation directly to Gigi's Playhouse Detroit. And don't forget, our silent auction closes at 9 o'clock. Have a great night and have a great World Down Syndrome Day tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah.